So recording is in progress. So good afternoon, everybody, again. I'm Blanca. I'm from Leadership Associates, and I would like to welcome you very much to this event. This is our first information event about the ACE, about the Leadership Development Program that we are organizing together with the IFIS. And I will now pass the word immediately to Angelika, who is here in her double capacity. Angelika.
Yeah, thank you, Blanca. So on the one hand, I'm a co-director of Leadership Associates together with Blanca, and I'm also on the board of the Institute for Integral Studies in Freiburg in Germany, in short, IFIS. And there I also have my colleague from IFIS, Bettina, with that.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. You already did the introduction. Indeed, among other things, I'm working with IFIS, quite a number of EU projects already, following up projects, designing them, but also have a very strong interest in this kind of training, leadership, self-leadership training. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this wonderful adventure. I think I leave it here so you can go to the essentials.
Thank you. And so from my side, we have promised that we will share with you one leadership hack. And what is hack? Hacks are for us some very practical tools or some very practical concepts that we can really use. And we will move to this as soon as we will very briefly, if you wish so, introduce each other so that we would know just a bit about each other for this session. So I would like to invite, if I may, you, Ingrid, and then Görkem, and then Salma, and then Alexandra. Yes.
Thank you very much for the possibility to join this meeting. I'm really grateful. Thank you. From my side, I'm in Vienna, and my husband and I, we founded an organization, a non-profit organization on the topic of resilience and mindfulness. And it was some years ago. And so for me, it's really amazing that now maybe there will be the possibility for leadership support, because that's exactly what I need at that moment right now. So I'm really curious what tools we can learn from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Görkem.
Hello. This is very new to me, I should say. I saw about the news of the meeting actually on Alexandra Dolea's Facebook account, and I thought it was interesting. Originally, I'm an archaeologist working in Turkey mainly and in Greece. Yes, I'm looking forward to learning more about this program. And thank you very much for this meeting.
You're most welcome. Salma, would you like to share something too? I'm not sure whether it works for Salma as for others. She's also muted. So let's go to Alexandra. Oh no, Salma. Lovely.
Sorry, my name is Salma Abdallah, and I'm currently based in Somalia. I work for a local NGO called Puntland Minority Women Development Organization in Programs Department. My internet kind of goes on, it's not stable, the connection. Apologies for that.
Don't apologize. We are happy that you could join us at all. Thank you for your attention and time. And now, Alexandra.
So yeah, I had a brief introduction from Görkem. Nice to see you, Görkem, here. Also used to be an archaeologist, now stepping out from academia and trying to figure it out which direction to go. So I would be very much interested to finding out more of development and yeah, how to proceed further with balancing career and switching careers and integrating myself in a new perspective and finding out how to balance everything together, because up to now I can't say I nailed it very much. So looking very much forward to finding out more. Thank you. You are muted, Blanca, I think.
I wonder how that happened. Angelika, would you be so kind to share a bit more about you as an introduction? Because I again completely changed the script that we had agreed, right?
We're all flexible. That's one of the things, one of the important leadership skills that we'll also delve into during the training. That's really an essential competence, right? Things never turn out as you actually plan them in the first place, right? We all know that. So yeah, I'm really excited about that project that we embarked on, not only because it's great, to see everybody that I'm working with working together jointly on women empowerment, which is one of my big focus, as is sustainability. So this is an important aspect that I also specifically bring in. For example, we'll also play a game around that starting in our program. So I'm really looking forward to welcoming maybe you and definitely 15 interesting women from around Europe. And pass it on to Bettina for more introductions if you wish.
You mean content introduction? Very good. Yeah. How can I say in that whole range of possible fields and hacks and tools and ways of being, I guess what I find most interesting this moment is how we can navigate two things, really, how we can navigate complexity in a good way. And the other is how we can use our attention and the awareness of our attention in order to create the direction, the results that we would like to see, and how to work mindfully with that. So that's maybe from my side where I can really give a contribution.
And if I can, you actually already offered me an excellent bridge, because the hack that we have prepared with Angelika to share with you today, because we want to make sure that you actually leave here with something super practical, is on management of attention. And I'll now start just saying few words so that you actually get the concept a bit the way how we mean it. So our attention is always limited. By default, we do not have an endless resource on attention. And I am imagining my attention something like a water in a garden hose, something like I have some amount of water that actually can flow through the garden hose, provided that there are no leaks, provided that there are no stones in the hose, and so on. So the first thing is that I need to take care of myself to make sure that actually I can really lead the energy that is also my attention correctly. And then how can I manage this energy? Sometimes my attention is really very focused. It is really like a laser-like stream of consciousness and attention. And then it can even cut through something, right? This is if you imagine really a laser and a water stream or so, they can really do a lot of good things, but also a lot of damage. And at other times, my attention is super gentle. And I imagine it in the garden when you have this device that makes mist, the super fine mist, or when you are actually at the seaside and there is always a bit of water and salt in the sea, in the air, and you feel it, but you don't feel actually that it's wet really, or it's just maybe at the verge of that, yeah? So this is another type of attention. And anything in between is also actually on the continuum of attention and how we can manage this. And any of the choices that you make, how you will manage your attention, have some advantages and some disadvantages. If my attention is like a mist, then most likely I'm not really able to achieve really results and to really get things done. But it definitely contributes to my well-being, to the well-being of others. I'm paying attention. If something happens, I can then be there. If I'm very much focused on, let's say, a goal, and like you said, Bettina, something result, we would like to achieve something, then actually, and Angelica tell you more about it, because today morning it came up for Angelica. So I will now pass on.
So I actually received a quote, one of the nice newsletters that was like, goals make you blind. And it's true, right? Because actually that's what we're focused on. And we don't see all the rest that's going on here on the side, right? So if we're going back to the hose example, right? Like we're watering those plants here. We're not watering the ones on the side. So it's always a choice on the one hand, what we focus attention on, but at the same time, there's an opportunity cost, right? Meaning everything else that we're not doing at that moment. So we want to be very conscious about what we focus on and that we really focus on the things that we think we should focus on. And that will actually bring eventually the results and the impact that we wish to have.
And if I can back, sometimes what I want to focus on is really to be as gentle as the mist, because I don't know what, let's say, my closest will need, and I just want to be ready when they need to be there, when they need it. But I don't want to be there like a helicopter mama, let's say, and sort of like always like, oh, is everything okay? Is everything okay? Absolutely not. But in case there is something, I want to have the resource at my disposal to contract and to focus. And so this would be our hack, so to say, or our concept on attention. And there is, of course, much more that can be said and can be meaningfully experienced about how you are managing attention, how we are learning to be conscious about the way how we are managing attention, and therefore how we are producing results, or what kind of results we are really producing, right? There is really much more to that. And all the hacks and all the practical tips that we will be sharing with you in the program, they are theory-based and at the same time highly practical, because we don't care for the theory per se. Theory is nice, but we want also to make sure that it is practical. But we also want to make sure that whatever we are doing really has good sound basis, and that it is not just an assemblage, some currently used fat in leadership. And so many of the things that we will be sharing will be coming from the sphere of complexity, from the area of navigating complexity. Some of the things will have to do really how we are leading ourselves, because this is where we believe any kind of leadership really starts, because without a good way of leading ourselves, we cannot actually lead our teams or others. And then from that point, we will actually go to the wider cycles of what is around us, what can we actually, circles, I should say, what can we actually influence and how. And at this moment, I would like to open the floor for questions.
Just to add maybe also to what Blanca said, then of course during the training we'll also give sufficient time not only for the concepts but actually for the practical training, of the different hacks. It's just we really want to give you also the floor in case you have questions. It's also Q&A session, so we won't delve into this now. But with the training, you'll also actually get access to the Women Lead Community platform and to a dedicated space there, where you'll also have all of the hacks, you know, and you get a workbook and so on. So that's something that, you know, it will stay. It's not only, okay, we're trying it once, okay, oh my God, can I remember? You know, you'll actually get all of the supporting materials, and they're there to stay.
And I see Ingrid would like to ask a question.
Yeah, thank you. My question is about the time, because I really try to manage the time and it's still quite challenging for me. And so when there is a training, because to find a good balance between training and learning, as well as working at the same time and also private time. So how much time will be the training, and do you have some input how to manage all this together in a good way?
So I'll try to answer, and Bettina and Angelica will add if I forget something, or will correct if they feel that I didn't really give a good answer. So during the training, during the program, I actually would not call it necessarily training, because leadership is something that is really very much personal, and you need to develop it on your own. We can only issue an invitation, we can share things, and then you will find your own way how you are actually integrating that into the vast amount of knowledge that you already have. So during our time together, we will be together for evening on the arrival day, then for 3 full days, and then eventually, if you still can stay for another half a day for integration and for individual coaching, if need be. We are actually expecting that these days will be relatively long and full of time when we will be really together, learning, practicing, and also there will be time for you for your own work, reflections. So this is how it is during the program per se, and this is the on-site part of the program. Prior to the program, we will meet once online as the whole group to get to know each other and already to clarify some of the first things that are relevant for the program. And then we will also meet at least twice after the program for specific workshops, because we would like to make sure that you already had the opportunity to apply some of the things that you have learned on the on-site program. And maybe you will have some questions or experiences that you would like to share with others. Maybe it worked well, you would like to just share that and celebrate. And maybe there is a question that you still would like to ask because you got a different result than you expected. So this is how it is in the program. And how is it sort of in general? Well, the whole question is whether you should manage time or maybe your energy, attention, you know, what to manage. And we can talk about that. Because I think all of us know, when I say all of us, I would say now Bettina and Angelica know that managing time alone isn't enough, that there is more to manage, and perhaps eventually you do not manage any more time, but you manage other things. And just to give you an example, you know, years ago, I could not imagine that I will ever have enough time to do yoga every day. And now it is just there, and I love it, and it is possible. But I had to change my priorities, and I had to change my energy management. So we will talk about that. Yes. I hope I have answered a bit your question, Angelica, Bettina.
And I was wondering, maybe Bettina, you want to share the website, you know, where you can also see the structure of the program, including then also, you know, how long the individual bits take. And I saw that
I can do that. Yeah. I just had one question for Ingrid, because maybe I understood that in a different way. Were you also asking that during that on-site training, how much time you would have per day in order to maybe follow up other things, and maybe, yeah, in terms of, okay, how many hours will that be ultimately per day?
It's also about that question. Yeah, thank you.
So
okay, so I mean, in terms of how much time is left per day, that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, during the training, the on-site training, so we just talked about awareness. It's really about being there fully present. So we would not expect you to have other things scheduled for those days that we're together there. This is going to be full days, and we really, you know, it will be the most benefit to you if you give it your full attention. So please don't plan anything on the side there, right?
Yeah.
But the other parts that are online training, they're very short. And of course, there again, your full attention is required during those 2 hours max. So that we hope should be feasible. And with respect to the flexibility, because Salma was also asking that, you know, in between the sessions, it's really completely up to you how you are, you know, basically trying out and practicing the things that, you know, that we gave you input for. So that is hopefully here you can also check it out if you have any doubts on the website in the FAQ section. What exactly is the program structure and the length?
But if I can, we know that sometimes it is necessary really to check emails during the day and to follow up a bit into something, you know, that is going on in the office. So we will provide space for that. But to the extent possible, like Angelica said, we would recommend that you try to reduce the need to take care of your day-to-day business to the minimum, because it will actually take away for you from the quality of the program. That's sort of what you will have to balance. And of course, I believe all of us were in situations where we felt we have to do something because it cannot wait. So we are building in some time for the program too, for your own work. I see that, Salma, you asked for the link. You mean the link for the website, right? On the website, there are also then the links where you can apply. And I will know, one of us will put in the accelerator. It's accelerator.com, .zone, because Accelerator is sort of a series of our leadership development programs for women. They have different lengths, they have different focus. This one is this year our flagship program, the biggest and also the longest and more advanced than some others, but we are also offering other programs either on-site or online. Over for me. If there are any other questions, you are most welcome to ask them now.
We have about 5 minutes left, so please go ahead.
And if there are no questions, then I will very briefly walk you through the topics of the ACE program, because I feel that this could actually help you to make a decision whether it's a good program for you or not. So we absolutely will cover self-awareness and self-reflection, because we believe that these are essential for leadership. And what we want to cover here is really, like we did already today with the hack, how are we working with attention? What is it that we are being aware about? What are the things we are habitually not paying attention to? And because we know that we are very often too much in our heads and not enough in our bodies and not enough with our emotions, we will spend some time being and practicing leadership embodiment. So paying attention specifically to the way how we are showing up, how we are really residing in our bodies, how we are taking care about what we feel, and what does this actually mean, how we are working with this information. And what does it also mean for our leadership? Because very often when there is incongruence between what you say, let's say, or what you mean and how you are appearing, it leads to results that you do not wish for. And we would like to make sure that you get the results that you really wish for. So we will pay attention to energy and attention. We already mentioned several times. And this has to do also, then there is a direct link to personal productivity. We would like to introduce you some of the technical, maybe simple, but super productive, effective hacks that you can use to increase your personal productivity. And we will in the group exchange about the personal ones, because there is so much that you will anyway have to find out those that are working best for you personally. And in the neurohacks, this is a very special part. We know sometimes that we are living with very deeply seated convictions and beliefs that are hindering us, that are, let's say, making us to believe that we are small, that we cannot achieve, that something is not available to us, or that we are not enough because of whatever reason. So with neurohacks, we will do some work on our limiting beliefs, and we will share with you more methods that can help you on an individual basis. We will be also integrating some of the deep relaxation techniques, such as meditation, and we will be absolutely sharing some of our favorite complexity tools. There is now estuarine mapping is one of them, a new one where you can really do a very good check of your situation and find out where are the leverage points on which it really makes sense to work. And because we believe that communication is so important as a leadership skill, we will really spend some time practicing and mastering difficult conversations, because this is something where most of us actually always, not always, but very often still feel we could do better. And this is really worthwhile practicing. And finally, as Angelika already mentioned, you are already now cordially invited to join the Women Lead community and to become part of our community for women leaders. It is an online community where you can every month participate in pro bono coaching, or you can choose one of the paid plans. In any case, there is enough offer for everybody to find the sweet spot that works. Over from me.
And I wanted to add regarding the community. So if you do decide to go for the either applying now, but in case you do not have time this September, October, because this will be really the main time that we'll need, or you will need your attention, to focus your attention on the program. Then there is also a wait list. You can also find that on our website. And if you sign up for either of them, you will be able to benefit from a special offer for the community, where you'll also have even a longer time to try it out for free, even the premium services that we have.
And to clarify, yes, Salma, in order to qualify for this round of scholarships, one would have to be either an EU resident or citizen. If one isn't, you can still apply, but you would have to be a self-payer. So you would have to find your own sources of funding. What we can do is we could advocate with your organization. So the payment, the full payment for the program is 2,790 euros. But in any case, if you are very much interested, please reach out and we will see what we can do. Because we would like to make sure that everybody who is really interested to take part is at least being really seriously considered, and we can see what we can do, whether there are some options that we maybe will only see with you once we really know your specific situation.
And we do also intend to run the program again in the future. So there's also the possibility, in case any of you have ideas about other sources of creating scholarships for women who might be interested, or even for organizations, we could run the same training also within organizations if they're able to pay for that for their women leaders. So please reach out also if you have any ideas regarding that.
And I would like to mention that this program is co-sponsored, is co-funded by European Union. And that also means that for us, we are also open to partnerships with other organizations that would enable us to run this program for them, where there is some exchange of capacity, of know-how, and we could eventually qualify for one of the EU funding. So if you are from one of these organizations, it needs to be a legal entity. It cannot be a sole proprietorship. It cannot be an individual person. Please reach out if you would be interested. This takes then time for sure. But once it is there, we can really guarantee that we will have the resources to deliver the program or more. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for your time, your interest. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us at any moment if you have any further questions. And because we're already at the end, but wish you a great afternoon and hoping to see you there.
We will share the recorded material and be well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Ciao, ciao.